I almost didn't make this video. Seriously, yesterday I was looking at a piece I'd poured hours into, and that familiar sinking feeling crept in. That little voice whispering, "It's not quite there. It's not good enough." It's a feeling that can stop you right in your tracks, make you put the brush down, or hide your sketchbook from the world. It's paralyzing, and it made me wonder, what if that feeling is just wrong? What if we're all looking at our own art and our own creativity in a completely wrong way? Feeling like your work isn't good enough is almost a universal experience for artists. It's so common, in fact, that most of us are dissatisfied with a lot of what we create. We live with this constraint, nagging sense that our work just isn't going to measure up. It's a tough feeling to shake because, as the artist, you're holding a perfect idealized version of the piece in your mind. You know exactly what you were trying to do. You see the gap between the flawless vision in your head and the physical thing in front of you. And man, that gap can feel like a canyon. Other people, though, they don't see that mental blueprint. They only see the art that you actually made. And when they praise it, it can be even more frustrating because you can't see what they see. You're just too close to it. All you can spot are all the tiny flaws, the brush stroke you overlooked, the color that isn't quite right, the thousand little ways it fell short to perfect. It becomes an echo chamber inside of our heads, where the only voice we hear is our own inner critic. The critic is a habit, a thought pattern we get stuck in. It tells us we're a fraud, that we shouldn't even call ourselves artists. It whispers that our ideas aren't worth the effort and constantly compares our messy, in-progress work to the polished final products we see online. We forget about the years of practice and the countless failed attempts that came before that perfect piece. It's a totally unfair comparison, but it's a trap. It's a trap, and we all fall into it. The result? We feel stuck. We're scared to even start a new project because we're afraid it'll just be another disappointment. So we let our best ideas die in our minds, where they can stay perfect and safe in the messy reality of creation. So what if we're just looking at it all wrong? But what if the inner critic doesn't have the full story? What if that not good enough feeling is actually a sign of something else entirely? Many artists and thinkers believe this dissatisfaction is natural, even a necessary part of the creative process. It's a sign that your taste, your vision is expanding. You're developing a more sophisticated eye for what makes art great, and your technical skills are just playing catch-up. That gap you feel so intensely isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. You're no longer satisfied with what used to be good enough for you. And that led me to a realization. Maybe the way we judge our own art is fundamentally flawed. We're so focused on this possible standard of perfection that we miss the real merit hiding in plain sight. We judge our work based on what isn't instead of what is. We're so busy hunting for mistakes we completely miss the success. The truth is, good art isn't just one thing. There's no universal checklist. Art is valued across a huge spectrum, from technical skill to emotional power to the strength of its core idea. We often dismiss our own work because it doesn't score a 10 in every single category, forgetting that even masterpieces have their weaknesses. Think about it. Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper started deteriorating almost immediately because he used a flawed technique, yet still one of the most revered artworks in history. Technical perfection isn't the only way to measure value. So instead of asking, "Is my art good enough?" let's ask a much better question. What makes my art worthwhile? When you learn to look for it, you'll start to see that the signs of powerful, effective art are already in your work. You just need to learn how to recognize them. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional, being emotional, and being on a journey. First, look for intent and meaning. What's the why behind your piece? An artwork without any feeling or measure is just a technical exercise. Does your art have a story it's trying to tell? A mood you're wanted to capture? Even if you feel like you didn't execute it perfectly, the simple fact that you had a purpose gives your work conceptual strength. That intention is the soul of the piece. It's what separates art from mere decoration. If you explain that you were trying to capture the quiet melancholy of a rainy day or the chaotic joy of a market, then your art has depth, and that is a win. Second, look for your deliberate choices. As you create, you're constantly making decisions. You choose that specific shade of blue for a reason. You place that line there to guide the viewer's eye. You contrasted a rough texture with a smooth one to create interest. These aren't accidents, they're choices that even reveal your artistic choice. Recognizing your own decision-making process is a huge step. It shows you're moving beyond just copying you see and starting to actually compose. Third, look for an emotional connection. One of the most powerful things art can do is make someone feel something. Does your piece make you feel something? A flicker of joy, a pang of nostalgia, a sense of peace? If it connects you with you, its creator, that's a profound achievement. And if it connects with even one other person, it's an undeniable success. We get so caught up chasing likes and shares, but a true measure of success is a genuine connection. If someone looks at your work and says, I know exactly how that feels, you've made someone feel seen. That's one of the highest goals of art. And finally, look for growth and process. Don't just stare at the one piece in front of you, look at your journey. Pull out something you made a year ago or even 6 months ago. Compare it to what you're making today. See a difference? Is your line work more confident? Is your understanding of color more nuanced? That improvement is a hallmark of a good artist. An artist isn't someone who produces flawless work every time. An artist is someone who is dedicated to the process, who shows up when it's hard, and who is always learning. The minute you become completely satisfied with your work is the moment you stop growing. That constant striving isn't a curse, it's the engine of your progress. So what can we actually do about this? How do we quiet that inner critic and see the real value in our work? It starts with changing our habits and our mindset. First, let's learn to critique our work constructively, not destructively. There's a simple method you can borrow from art criticism. It has 4 steps: describe, analyze, interpret, and evaluate. Don't start with judgment. Start by simply describing what you see. This is a portrait. It uses cool colors like blue and green. The light is coming from the left. Then analyze how the parts work together. The bold lines of the jaw create a sense of strength. Next, interpret the feeling. The overall mood feels calm and introspective. Only after all that do you evaluate. But instead of, is it good or bad, ask, did I achieve my goal? What did I learn? What could I try differently next time? This reframes judgment as a learning opportunity. Second, practice self-compassion. Seriously, treat yourself with the same kindness you give a friend. It's okay to make mistakes. They're how we grow. Your thoughts are not facts. That voice telling you you're not good enough is just your brain reacting to uncertainty, not an objective truth. A piece of art that fails doesn't make you a failure. It makes you an artist who is learning. Finally, shift your focus from the final product to the process itself. It's so easy to get hung up on the outcome that we forget to enjoy the act of creating. Find joy in mixing colors and the feeling of a pencil on paper, in solving a visual puzzle. When you learn how to love the process, every moment you spend creating is a success, regardless of what happens at the end. This journey of self-acceptance isn't easy, and it's something we all have to keep working on. It's a conversation, and I'd love to hear from you. How do you find the value in your own work? And how do you deal with your inner critic when it gets too loud? Share your thoughts in the comments. Reading them helps us all realize we aren't alone in this. That feeling that your art isn't there yet might not ever go away completely, but it doesn't have to be a source of pain. It can be a quiet reminder that you're a creator on a journey who's always reaching for something more. Your art has value right now. In this moment, it holds your intentions, your choices, your emotions, and the story of your growth as a reflection of you, and that is more good than good enough. The next time the voice of doubt whispers, who are you to create this? I want you to answer boldly, I am an artist, and that's exactly why I must. Keep creating.